This here is the Sony A7R V, and I'm going to be giving my honest opinion after using it for 2 years, professionally and on here on YouTube. Now, before we do, if you do want to buy this hoodie here, there's a link down in the description. As you place the order, it is fulfilled and sent out to you, and this is the back of the hoodie. Also, all of the photos in today's video are edited with my presets, the link in the description, all the formalities out of the way. Let's talk about the Sony. Now, I think the best feature about this camera by far is the screen. So the screen tips, tilts, flips, does everything you want a screen to do and more. And I really hope that other camera companies bring out similar concepts, because I think for me, it's really helped me to get different angles when out shooting in the field. If you haven't used this type of kind of crazy Frankenstein setup, then, well, give it a go and you'll understand why. It's lovely. The thing I'll say is, before you buy any camera, and maybe some of you are watching this to determine whether or not you want to buy this camera, before you buy any camera, instead of watching YouTube videos, get an idea of, from YouTube videos, you get an idea of whether or not you're interested. I don't think you should ever make a financial commitment based off a YouTube video. I'm preferencing that because I'm going to talk about this, and then what I want you to do, if you're interested, go and rent it for a day. Go and use it. Take some photos yourself, use it, spend the money in renting it, and then decide. I don't think that you should just go ahead and go, yep, Sam thinks it's good, so I'm going to go and buy it. That's not how you should make a decision. I love it, and professionally, it's been an incredible camera, and by far, it's one of the best tools I've ever used for a work environment. And I say tool because that's what it is. It's a tool to help me show my creative skill. That is what it is. Now, the R5 it has more megapixels. It has a lot of quirky features like AI detection for autofocus, etc. And they are great. That, you know, if a car is going through the frame, it will pick up the car, or if a person is, it will pick up the person. And these things are fantastic. They're really great. We know all these specs. We know all the nitty-gritty. And if you want to know the nerdy specs, go and find that person. I'm going to be speaking about the raw opinion of how this camera has made me feel, because it's really important how a camera makes you feel. And I say that because if you don't fall in love with the camera and the system you're using, it's not for you. And you have to find the camera system that works for you, because this is the thing that is going to be attached to you at all times when you're out taking the thing that you are so passionate about. And if it can't just live in your hand, then you need to find another system. So the Sony, for me, is ergonomically really great. All the buttons are well placed, so if I want to use it one-handed, I can. So I can reach pretty much all the buttons with one hand, as you can see. I'll try and show you. With one hand, I can do this button here, I can do this button, I can press all the buttons I need to on the right-hand side without having to use my other hand. So that's why I think ergonomically it is very good. It's hard to show you this without having to use two hands, but pretend I'm not, because I would normally just use it with one hand, but if I had to. And I think Sony have really thought about this kind of mentality, is if they have to use it with one hand, is it doable? And yes, it is. That's not maybe something that you're going to be interested in, but there are some situations where this hand is tied up doing something else. It might be a case that you're holding in another lens, or you've got a separate camera system in the way, or for me, maybe it's holding the vlogging camera or whatever, but I can use this with one hand. I know it's a very specific thing, but it's something that I noticed and I like. Now, the other thing I love about the Sony system in general is I do like the actual menu system. It's a lot easier to use than some of the other systems I've used in the past and on other cameras I've used on this channel. So that's a plus side. The other thing I'm not a big fan of is this kind of like locking mechanism here. So this, where you have to press down and turn. They've done that so you don't knock it out of place, which is fine. I get it. But at the same time, I feel like, for me, it's a bit finicky. That's the only thing I find a bit finicky. As a camera system, I've pushed this to the limits, as some of you may or may not have seen in my other videos. It's been completely drenched in mud, completely, where to a point where I actually thought it was done. I had to let it dry, and then I spent about a day and a half slowly with a toothbrush scraping it all off with the lens staying on. I didn't take the lens off because I didn't dare get any dust or mud on the sensor. So it took me ages, but the weather sealing on these is fantastic. I've used not just the Sony A7R5, but the A7 IV and the A7 III in really, really harsh conditions. Raining, snow, sleet, hail, wind. I've dropped it in puddles and it's fine. I'm not saying you can go and do the same and experience no issues. I'm saying that from my experience, I can't complain from that standpoint. I believe it is one of, if not the best camera on the market. And the reason I'm going to say that, because I've used a lot of cameras, and I think, you know, you could go and buy, you know, a 10 grand setup and walk away with image quality that is just mind-blowing. And that's, you know, amazing and all that. But it's about the entire experience of using a camera. I know that I can pick this up and I can vlog with it all day. Great content. I know that I can pick this up, I can go and shoot an entire video event for a company and walk away with really high quality images and video. I know that I can go and turn up for F1 or Man United or anywhere else I've shot in the past and walk away with incredibly high quality photos. And at the same time, I know that I can throw it on the ground, get it wet, get it muddy, and it still works. I don't have to baby it. I don't have to worry about it. It just works. And I think that is the most important thing when it comes to photography. Not whether or not you can mistreat your camera system, because that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is that I know that if I drop this, which I have dropped the R5 before, I know that I can pick it up and it'd be fine. I have actually, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if we can get it in the reflection a little bit. I have cracked the back screen. And since it's been cracked, I've taken it out in the rain and I still haven't had a problem. I'm not saying that it would be the same for you. What I'm saying is the build quality is a nice combination of really high end, but also done at an affordable way. And I think for me, that's really important when it comes to decisions on whether or not I'm going to buy a camera system. I bought the R5 secondhand from a trusted friend, so you can pick them up for a steal. I don't remember how much I paid for mine, but it wasn't, I think it was about £2,000 in August of 2023. So as you could, I think that was a good price. So Chester, thank you very much. It served me well, and I'll continue to use it. The A7 IV, which is what I'm recording me right now, it's my partner's camera, which used to be mine. This, I would say, a lot of people see it as a photo forward camera because of the high megapixels. However, I see it as a hybrid system, a very good, capable hybrid system, one that almost is on par with the A7 IV. The only thing with the A7 IV that pips this is that the A7 IV is slightly better in low light, and that is only down to the lower megapixels, which allows you to have better noise capabilities. Whereas with this, there's more megapixels, so therefore in high noise situations where you're having to use more ISO, it is a little bit more noisy, but you can fix it in post, so it's not a big problem. I would recommend you go out, rent this camera. You're going to fall in love with it. I know you will, but it's important for you to go out, test it yourself, trial it yourself, and see where you go from there. some of the images that I've taken have been shown over the top of me talking, and it is an incredible camera when it comes to quality, and having that ability to crop in is very helpful sometimes when you don't, when you don't nail that composition and you want to be able to crop in, you have that ability. Whereas with the 24 meg on the, I think it's 24 meg, I don't know what the megapixel is on the A7 IV, but when you crop in that, obviously every time you crop, you're reducing the megapixels, you're reducing that quality. But because you've got the higher megapixels on the A7R5, you can do that. And in some situations, especially street and car photography, that's helped me a lot. That being said, I don't want you to just make a decision today and go, yep, I'm going to go and buy it in 2025. It's a great camera. It is. But go and try it first. Go and rent it. Go and borrow it from a friend, whatever, because it's important that you try before you buy. You'll love it. The dual card slot, again, yeah, I mean, these are all things that people do. I don't know if you care about these things, but I don't. I care whether or not I could pick this up and I can use it for a day. I've shot multiple videos in a day with this, where I've gone out and I've gone, right, I'm just going to record 3 videos in one day, and I can just, it's a workhorse and it is a powerhouse, and the battery life is great. I don't have anything bad to say about it, which is why I'm not here like saying don't go and buy it. I'm saying go and try it because you'll love it. I think by far in 2025, I would say it's the best all-rounder on the market. I'm saying that loosely because there are great cameras out there. You've got the Nikon Z6 III, you've got the, obviously you've got the, it's not the competitor to this, but it's the same. It's the Sony A7CR, whatever it is. It's the smaller compact body of this. It's the same, but smaller. If you're after a smaller body, consider that, because it's a smaller body. Everything else is the same. It's just a smaller body. That's the thing that Sony likes to do. They like to do the same but different marketing, where it's the same thing but packaged differently. So go and have a look at the A7CR, whatever. I can't remember the name of it because I'm not interested. I prefer this grip. I prefer this feel of a camera. And you might do the opposite, but go and have a look at both. Maybe rent both and see how you feel. Big fan of it, huge fan of it, and as you've seen by the images, it has provided some absolute bangers of the year. So if you are considering going from DSLR, I actually, back in 2019, I went from a Nikon D7000 to an A7 III. So huge jump in terms of capability. If you're looking at if you're in the need, or you're looking at progressing your photography tenfold, then yes, this is a camera for you, where you're going to see a notable difference if you're using something vastly different, or you're getting into photography. The R5 is an outstanding camera, and I have no intention of, but if I was ever to replace it, I think I would struggle to find something on par. So yes, massive love for this. And if you're wondering why I keep looking over here, it's because I'm actually using the Sigma lens, and for some reason it keeps picking up focus. I'm not sure if it is actually picking up focus over there. So I would use my my 1635 G Master Sony, but it recently died, probably because I'm using it like a tool, not because of the bad build system. But I did have this for about 3 years, 3.5 years, maybe 4 years. So this did well. All in all, my opinion on the R5 is it's a great camera. And I don't really know how to get that across in the best way. Maybe the photos have done it for you. Maybe the video quality. Every single bit of footage or photos that you've seen in this video has been from this absolute power horse. So if that hasn't convinced you, and the fact that I have no intention of ever getting rid of it hasn't convinced you, go rent it, go use it, and I'm pretty sure it'll sway you to love it. With all that being said, we're going to have a look at the hashtag Optical Wonder over on Instagram, where you can show me your photos. So every time I do a video, I go on to the hashtag Optical Wonder, I throw a screen recording on, so you can see what I'm looking at, and then we can all have a look at some of the work that you guys are putting out. So if you haven't been using the hashtag Optical Wonder, when you post on Instagram, just put it below in your caption, and we can all take a look at your work. So let's see what they've changed their layout again on the hashtag. Absolutely lovely. Well, this isn't, they make it very difficult sometimes. Anyway, this is what we're working with. Even if I click on tags, it goes back to the For You page. So we'll just scroll and you can see some of the work. This one here caught my eye. I like that. I like the colors. So very nice. Let's keep going down. Let's see what else grabs my eye. Let's go with, I like that. Same colors, same dude. That's why it caught my eye. Let's have a look. Keeping going. Let's keep going. I don't like how they're doing the hashtag these days. It's not great. This is nice. I like the framing. Very nice. Nice, well done. Let's do 2 more. That's a cool action shot. I like that. And then let's do one more. Let's go with, let's do one big ass scroll. That was kind of cool. That's really nice. That is a really, really sick shot. Big fan of that. And if I do get a chance, I do want to go back to Japan. So hopefully soon. This is a great set. This is from Kai. Dude, love your work. Thank you for using the hashtag. That's cool. Nice. Again, if you want to get featured on this channel, you can use the hashtag Optical Wonder. And again, this hoodie is down in the description. Once you place your order, it will be sent straight out to you. Depending on where you live on the world, will depend on how quickly it gets to you. But worldwide shipping is available down in the description. Go and place your order. And also, just go and try the R5. It's a great, great camera. Create more, stress less, and I'll see you in the next one.